I'm Chris Carwell, Product Delivery Manager for Silverchair, and I'm pleased to welcome Alex Vance from GeoScienceWorld. In keeping with today's theme, Alex is going to talk about how she views economies and benefits of scale, and we'll discuss a little bit about how her organization is trying to bring some of that value to publishers in the geosciences space. And since I'm not co-presenting, I'm going to go ahead and just sit down. Sorry.
You can get me the water when I start coughing. And you can actually teach me how to use the clicker.
Just the big green.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to come talk to y'all today. And for a few of you, this is a conversation that you've heard at the ALPS conference recently in the Netherlands. And this was something that Mike Clark had organized for us. Michael was interested in having me talk about the GeoScienceWorld model because it's a bit unusual, a little bit different. So I'm going to start with that. And it does tie into the themes of scale and also vertical specialization. And then ultimately, I have a new section at the end which talks about why we made our home at Silverchair and how that's gone. We're launching our site in October. So I'll give you an update on all of that. So for those of you who are not familiar, GSW provides an integrated package of journals, books, and data across the earth sciences. We are also a cooperative community of societies and stakeholders. We provide a global network for institutional marketing and sales, and we now have a shared digital infrastructure for platform and product development. In this year, we have completed or will complete our migration to Silverchair. We've launched a new society services program, and we're exploring new initiatives for scale-based benefits. A few distinctions about our model. We are a nonprofit, and we aim to orient somewhere between a do-it-yourself model and a full commercial model. So societies are essentially partners in the business. They receive proceeds versus fixed royalties. We prioritize society independence. We try to assist and unencumber societies where they wish to be assisted and unencumbered. And we also attempt to maximize the competitive advantages for sustainability through scale. This is a look at some of the societies and organizations with whom we work. And a little bit of the history. Our founders conceived of the idea in 2000. We launched in 2004 and 2005. The next most similar model is that of BioOne. We were essentially founded by 6 leading geoscience societies, including the Geological Society of America. The idea was to share opportunities for technology, now for product development, dissemination, and access to global sales. We're governed by a board of directors, including society's librarian and researcher members, and we have an advisory council of publishers. One of the really beneficial features, it enables some of the larger or mid-sized societies to collaboratively assist some of the smaller societies, without whom, they would have a tough time surviving without what this cooperative effort brings to them. So, this is sort of my summary of it. A primary driver of the GSW vision was to uplift the science by conveying uniform and more competitive advantages to independent societies. And all of that is still very relevant today, but as we've seen, the market is becoming more consolidated and complex, and there may need to be some new mechanisms to help us accomplish that. So we're looking anew at how we can continue to extend those benefits. A little bit more here about the model itself. We're structured as a shared risk-reward model. Royalties are not guaranteed, but via the program, societies receive 95% of our net income. So if we do well, they do well. If we do better, they do better. Remittances are generated algorithmically. Participation is non-exclusive. However, we've certainly learned that having a version of record site on GSW helps greatly in SEO. And through the new Society Services Program, we're also fulfilling society's own subscriptions, in addition to subscriptions to the aggregate product. A look at the core services, which range from having a community forum for discussions and networking, access to consulting and research, volume pricing and buying opportunities, platform maintenance and upgrades, digital strategy, product development, project management, publisher and vendor technical support, renewals, sales, marketing, hosting and dissemination. And then, of course, on the reader side, we have a curated, vetted aggregation and a trusted destination for content in our domain. In addition to all that, GSW makes some of its own investments in technology, and these take the form of additions of ANI data through the GeoRef database. We georeference the content that we have. We add faceting and filtering at the sub-discipline level. We add thesaurus tools and map-based search. We, in addition, have developed an open map-based data discovery layer, which is freely available for charts, tables, figures, and maps and cross-sections. We launched an ebooks program a few years ago, and this year the Society Services program. In the process of our migration, GSW also itself invested in conversion and normalization of all of the corpus of the archive to JATS on behalf of the participating publishers. So this is super exciting, actually. I haven't seen most of this yet. We're launching October 18th. I have seen Geosphere. So this is, we borrowed from AMA and are using the split screen design. We're very data-centric, so here we have the figures and tables in the right-hand column. That's very important. It's been getting great feedback from our users. In addition, in the bottom right, you can see this is a thesaurus-enabled search view, and top right is a glimpse at our map-based search. And frankly, I noticed that somebody there said some geographical tools being added to their content. I'd love to see more Silverchair content on a map. That's my thing. That's my jam. Okay, so by the numbers, we have 46 journals, 28 publishers, 2,000 ebooks, and about 4 million GeoRef records. We serve 1,100 customers, academic and professional, in 45 countries. We have done about 28 million in royalties, given them back to societies since we started in 0405. We've recently made about $600,000 of investments, in addition to our budgeted investments for society content conversion and to enhance the reader experience. As mentioned, we're completing our migration to Silverchair and launching in October. Results. So does this model work from a financial standpoint? So far, so good. We've had a 74% increase in revenue over 5 years with a compound annual growth rate of almost 12%. Full text and PDF journal article usage increased nearly 30% in the most recent measured period. Our journal's royalty pool was almost $3.8 million and almost 19% increase over the prior year. Our new ebooks program, which is for about 10 to 11 publishers right now, has generated more than $1 million in royalties in 3 years. This is just a look at the journal's royalty growth over time. Open access. So we're kind of starting our open access program, I would say. We've had hybrid open access options for some time, and we've also had our open data discovery layer for charts, tables, and figures, et cetera. We're developing a sustainable model for higher percent open access journals, and we expect to include at least 2 100% open access journals in 2018. We are also proceeding post-migration with all steps in chorus compliance. So back to the theme of the day. I mean, we've done a lot of strategic planning around this, and sort of the culmination of a few years of discussion. Our next strategic plan starts in October 2017, runs for 3 years, and it really will be around these 2 axes. And the axes are investment in domain specialization, very much what Jake was talking about, subject matter expertise, professional applications, new opportunities, text and data mining, et cetera, while exploring routes for increasing horizontal scale. So we really feel that for any independent societies operating in this space, we need to find ways to help make them more competitive and maximize the opportunities that we can give where scale can be available through platform, partnership, sales, and more. So here at the focus, we really want to be hit a sweet spot between DIY, do-it-yourself, independence, and commercial offerings, focusing on growth and sustainability, competitive advantages, giving societies flexibility, confidence, independence to prioritize the advancement of their science. So the pros and cons, a little bit of review of what it's been like. We've been very successful in terms of the global sales and the product development. The model mechanics, however, doing it this way tend to be rather complex. We require customized technologies to support what we do. Multi-resolution is always a challenge, so version of record hosting, as I mentioned, is a simpler way to go. We do need strong back-end services, ops, finance, project management, and strategic leadership, and strategic partnership. Title growth requires a dedicated acquisitions editor, and there can be some resistance in the model structure actually to grow, because people don't always want to share. The governance structure is really important because actually, as one might see with Bio1 and GSW, you evolve in different directions depending on the nature of your governance structure. Okay, so a little breather, and I was just going to close up with what our Silverchair experience has been. We used 2 consulting firms in our RFP process. We used one within the industry, which was Delta Think, and one non-industry consulting firm. We spoke to all of the usual suspects, as you would imagine. We came down to this decision based on a lot of factors, but the primary was service orientation, I would say. We are a bit of a bespoke custom client. We came to Silverchair with sort of our needs list, and we felt we were really listened to. We felt that we got an approach and a response that would really do the trick for us and beat out the other offerings out there. Of course, there's a strong technology core, co-development opportunities, but it was the creative solution seeking, the alignment, and our common industry values that made all the difference. In terms of our strategy, the platform approach we get at Silverchair maximizes efficiencies and accommodates our custom needs. They have expertise in all of the content areas that we work in, journals, books, data, and more. They're a consultative partner, so we also do get that brainstorming and feedback about what does and doesn't work. And they're also interested in exploring with us new market opportunities, so the map-based stuff and the TDM, all really good for us. So overall, this fits ideally with the vertical and horizontal strategy that we have elected to follow. So, in conclusion, as we near the end of our launch process, we will say, yes, all migrations are hard. Let's not minimize that. There are always challenges, but we are as confident today about this partnership and the opportunities ahead as we were on day one. The things that have made all the difference are commitment, alignment, expertise, and creativity. So thank you very much. We're really excited about what we've accomplished. Thank you to all the teams, and we're looking forward to what's next.